What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got some awesome and pretty damn amazing dueling book duels for you guys to check out. For a moment, I actually thought that I was watching King Jack Atlas in these duels because the comebacks are going to be pretty damn epic. Something that you'd expect from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I guess that, that kind of gives away that these are going to be Red Dragon duels. As I've said before, my favorite synchro monster probably in the entire game is Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. I just love that card so much, and you're probably going to see it summoned because usually they want to get to that card. Sometimes they summon it outright, sometimes they summon it from Bane. Either way, it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and roll this, and it actually looks like Red Dragons are up first here. He opens with a pretty decent board. He is going to, I believe, summon Red Resonator, one of the best cards in the deck. It unloads your hand. He did special summon this right here, the Red Nova, and then he actually this was also special summoned by its effect, the Wandering King Wild Wind. This card has another good effect as well. All of these cards work really well together. He goes for the Red Rising Dragon, which are we ever getting that card? I feel like that card's not in the TCG, and I think we're never going to get it. There's my buddy right there, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. As long as you have tuners on the board, you're good. He is going to summon the Bane, and what the Bane allows you to do is just get one of your monsters and then summon your Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss back. So even though you do technically go -2, it's about the quality of monsters that you have on the field, and Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss is that motherfucking dude. His opponent is playing for hire. He's going to go Rhoda. Goes Monster Reborn. He negates that. It's kind of questionable. I would have asked him. I wonder what he was trying to target that he would actually want to get back here. But regardless, he actually is going to negate that. That's unfortunate, because he actually has Eater of Millions, and bye-bye my sweet Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Now, the good thing is, he still has Bane on field, so he can just activate Bane again. Unfortunately, he's going to get hit with Solemn Strike. That means he ends up losing both monsters, and it's cool because he has Monster Reborn, right? Not even a problem. Activate Monster Reborn, get Bane. Oh, nope, he got jebaited. Called by the Grave. He gets his Bane banished by Called by the Grave. This guy can't catch a break now at this point. And then his opponent is now just like popping off with For Hire. Just a little bit. I think the pop-off actually happens next turn, and it doesn't look good, especially considering he only has one card in his hand. Now, this would have been a sweet comeback play because he top-decked the Red Sprinter, and what this allows him to do is summon this Creation Resonator back from his graveyard. He now has 7 stars on field. Hey, bro, just Black Rose the field. Everything's Gucci. He's going to try that, but he just gets blown out by a Solemn Warning. This guy has everything. See, if For Hire was this good, man, it would be more than just Tier 1 or Tier 0 for a short period of time in Duel Links. Like, it'd be Tier 1 in the physical card game. At this point, you can see he has Raphael on field. He's going to go for Fogo, and it's looking really, really bad for Red Dragons. I believe his life points are going to get insanely low in this duel. He's at 1,200. Oh, yeah. He's at 200 life points. Man, I wish I could actually just play the Jack Atlas theme right now. I have it on my phone, but this would be the perfect time to play it. He is going to actually summon Red Resonator. He opted not to use the effect, and then he's going to summon another copy of Wild Wind. Now, I think that he needs to get his opponent to use the Raphael, because if he doesn't do that, Raphael can just negate stuff, and he gets him to do it by activating Red Rising Dragon. What that card would have done is it would have allowed him to summon 2 of his tuner monsters from the graveyard. He has tons of tuners in there. He's been using them all duel. He negates that, but now he can actually go for Red Rising Dragon. He can bring back Red Resonator, gain a ton of life points, and then guess who's coming to the rescue? Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend is going to nuke the entire board. Everything's dead, and now he should be able to simply attack. Not quite game. Actually, yeah, 500 life points. His opponent doesn't have a top deck good enough to answer one of Jack Atlas's best cards, and that is the end of that duel. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, when this card came out in Docs, I actually felt like, wait, was it? I feel like it was the cover card. I was going to say, I feel like it should have been a cover card of that set, but I'm almost certain it actually was the cover card. Maybe I'm thinking it should have been the Ghost Rare of Docs, and I think that Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon may have been the Ghost Rare, but I think Scarlet should have been the Ghost Rare. Anyways, this is duel number 2. And this one's going to be, let's see, the first duel was against For Hire. Oh, yeah, this was against Mermail. Yeah, and Mermail are going first. And Mermail open up good. Anytime you open up with Nephthybis, I think you can't complain. Or if you open up with Diva and get the Nephthybis, he's going to go for Megalo, get that scale, that Mizuchi, that's the one that stops spells, if I'm not mistaken. And he's going to Link Summon He's doing this here because he did search Moon Glacier. This not only gives him a Link monster to open up them extra monster zones, but takes out 2 cards in his opponent's opening hand. And what a jerk, seriously, man. Can I just play with my opening hand, sir? Now, I don't know what exactly happened here. He went for Nightmare Unicorn and activated the effect, and I'm like, wait, what? Because doesn't Nightmare Unicorn have to blow up a card on the field? So, or it has to spin a card back to the desk. I don't know what is going on here. And he uses the graveyard. And then I think he just decided, okay, no, I'm not going to use the effect. That's what happened. He adds, because I saw him add the Megalovax. I was like, what is he doing? But I think he realized, hey, I don't want to spin my own Moon Glacier back to the deck. That would be kind of silly and counterproductive. He follows that up with a Soul Charge. This is where it's going to get even worse. I mean, if losing 1 card out of your, or 2 cards out of your hand wasn't bad enough, he is going to get hand ripped by Gumblar Dragon. He doesn't seem to realize Gumblar Dragon is random though, so his opponent does have to correct him on that. Either way, he loses basically his entire hand. He is going to search Red Resonator from the Wild Man. He summons it and he gets hit with Impermanence. This guy, once again, I feel like the Red Dragon player is not playing bad. He's just not getting any lucky breaks. Like every time his opponent sets a trap card or a back row, it's a real trap. It's a Solemn or an Impermanence or something that's really good. At this point, all he has on board is the Wild Man. I think I would have summoned it in defense mode, but that's just me. His opponent puts Moon Glacier in defense mode, fearing that Mirror Force. I guess that's the only thing I could think of as to why. He is going to summon Gund, and he is saved by this card right here, Reject Reborn. This is basically, it's like kind of a threatening roar. If your opponent activates a direct attack. If your opponent attacks you directly, you end their battle phase. It's, well, you know what? No, it's actually more like Swift Scarecrow. I think that would be a better way. And you can special summon a Synchro and a tuner from your grave, but he doesn't have a tuner. Or no, excuse me, he doesn't have a Synchro monster, so he's not getting that. Then he gets lucky. He gets another attack stopper. He gets Red Screen, and this you have to pay 1,000 life points during your end phase, but it does stop your opponent from attacking as well. His opponent probably jumped the gun when he summoned Red Resonator. He activated Effect Veiler immediately. Not sure why, and that's a little bit of debating because he does have the Mech Knight of Purple Nightfall, and this guy's going to be able to banish itself to get himself another card. And another thing that I also didn't know, the Topologic Gumblar Dragon has to activate. It's not an optional effect, so I guess he just loses the Beast Lion out of his hand. Now he gets a token on field for his troubles, so I guess he really didn't lose anything. But the problem is, he's going to summon that Mech Knight, and guess who's coming back to the rescue? Scarlet Red Dragon, Archfiend popping everything. He does get to keep the gun. I don't think he realized that, but I don't think it's going to matter here because he's summoning these tuners, and look what he's going to go for since he had 2 tuners, plus he had that level 8 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. He's able to make Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend, and this dude has a built-in blow your opponent's entire side of the field up, and yeah, he's gonna definitely get KO'd here. 3,500 attack. Nothing to sleep on, especially if your opponent doesn't have any resources, because then this guy will just take over the duel. So I think that you saw, did you see? No, I think Calamity might have been the only one that we didn't see in that span of duels, but we saw most of the Red Dragon cards, the new ones, the ones from Arc V anyways. And I actually have the deck profile. A lot of times when I get duels on Dueling Book, I don't actually get the deck profiles because they're just singular duels, but this is actually the full deck profile for anybody who wants to try some Red Dragons. I think it's interesting playing them with Mech Knights. I mean, as we saw on the second duel, it does give him the ability to Synchro Summon, especially considering this one is a level 6, and you can just pair it with like Red Resonator and boom, that's level 8. But then, even with this one being like a level 7, it's not like they don't have level 1 tuners as well. You got Red Nova, you have Synchron, Resonator, so I think the fact that they're just high-level monsters that can easily get themselves on the board by special summoning them, and then you can instantly go into your Red Dragons. And I always love the extra deck of a Red Dragon deck because it's like no blue cards, man. Everything is straight up synchro. Yeah, I knew this card was not in the TCG. I feel like we're never going to get this card, and that's why you've never seen Red Dragons at like regionals, or you never see them at even a YCS, or even at, you know, probably even locals, is because they're missing one of their main cards. His trap lineup we saw in the duel as well. Reject Reborn, just a card that stops attacks. Red Screen, same exact thing. King's Consonance. I don't know this card. I'm not gonna read it right now, but I gotta familiarize myself with this card. I will actually have the this deck in the description below. I'll have the link for those of you guys who want to mess around with it and you want to duel with it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. Turn on that notification bell for daily videos and subscribe if you have not already. And actually, screw that, we're 9 seconds away from a 10-minute video, so we might as well just go ahead and add on a little bit. I guess you could, if maybe there was going to be a suggestion, throw in some Called by the Graves and maybe stop those Ash Blossoms, because you can see here, anytime you run 1 for 1, I'm always just so afraid that that card gets Ash Blossom and then you just lose the duel. So, I mean, 1 for 1 you definitely want to keep in the deck, but it's another way of protecting 1 for 1. I don't think anyone would Ash Blossom and Upstart, but hey, people do crazy things. And your Resonator cards, these are, you know, all cards that search or that give you the ability to, you know, dig through your deck quicker. Maybe you could take out the copy of Scarlet Security. This is like Feather Duster if you have a Red Dragon Archfiend on the field. You know what? It's the same exact thing as Dark Magic Attack, just for Red Dragons. Maybe you could take these out, throw in some Call by the Graves, use it to stop those hand traps.